What I'm going to tell you will fundamentally change the way of decommissioning. You might have heard that the United Kingdom is building another nuclear power station. But did you know that we pay far more for removing an old one than it takes for building a new one? One of the reasons for the high costs and the slow progressing is plutonium. Nuclear weapons are made of plutonium. Quick question, who has a handbag here in the room? Right, if that handbag were filled with plutonium, it would be enough to level the city of London. 1 gram of plutonium is enough to kill 5,000 people by inhalation. To put this in perspective, if the dust in this pipe were plutonium, we all would probably get cancer by it now. However, pipes are everywhere in power stations, yet no viable solution came up for finding plutonium in 10,000s of miles of pipes. We just don't know in which pipes plutonium might sit. So I think it's about time to clean up extremely dangerous, cost-intensive, and toxic nuclear sites, such as Sellafield. To break down this wall, I worked out a simple technique of finding plutonium at the inside of pipes. I used cheap silicon, the same you all have in your mobile phones, laptops, maybe on your rooftop as a solar cell, because I realized that it becomes flexible once it is made very thin, half as thin as a human hair. I then turned such razor-thin slices of silicon into very efficient plutonium detectors that can bend and adapt to the different diameters and curvatures of pipes. And together with a company, we even made a product out of it that can run through long pipelines, sorting out the contaminated bits for which we expensively have to deal with. But all the rest of it, you might get money for it by recycling. Finally, when we add robots behind the detector, the human cost for cutting contaminated pipes, it would be zero. I also think that flexible silicon could be a game changer in other applications. For example, offshore workers face similar pipe issues. In experiments where we smash particles against each other, a cylindrical detector would be beneficial. And so it is in digital photography, as a curved sensor allows you to take sharp images at low light conditions, even with a tiny mobile phone. Therefore, I strongly believe that flexible silicon might not only play an interesting role in cleaning up nuclear mess, but in many other applications. Thank you.
Thanks for that. So I saw that you said that you thought it would be about £2 billion a year to decommission some of those existing power stations. How much do you think you'd be able to reduce that by with your techniques?
So I can't give you a number for it, but I can tell you something about the number of the billions. So if you look back 5 years ago in the reports from Sellafield, you know, that they were submitted to the government, the cost prediction were quite much lower than that. In the recent years, they understood, especially at Sellafield, because that is a multi-layer problem, that the costs are much, much higher. So the key issue we're facing are technologies at low cost that allows you to address these multi-layer problems. So these costs, they will increase massively if problems come up for there's no technology for, or with this solution here, can get reduced massively. So I can't give you a clear number because I can't look in the future, unfortunately. But it's a very good question that, you know, people need to ask, because there are billions of pounds of tax money that we pay. Thank you for that question.
Other audience questions? Yeah, there's one. Yeah, thank you.
Where is your innovation? Is it in the flexible silicon or the device? What is your main contribution to this new approach?
That's an excellent question. And, you know, as it's written in the program magazines, my background is actually solar cells. And solar cells research were excited because they saw that, you know, we can play around with silicon, making it thinner and compensating the loss of absorption by making nice light-trapping structure. So that's a great game for photonics people, right? But they realized already that silicon becomes flexible when it is below 70 microns. So that's not the innovative step. The innovative step is to make a nuclear detector out of it, because that was not realized that you can do that. So people were just thinking, you know, nice, but the price of silicon dropped so massively now that nobody's thinking about making solar cells flexible. It could be, you know, a niche application for consumer products. Thank you.
Okay, if there are no more questions, then join me in thanking Christian.